Imagine everything is changing in your work environment. You have new priorities, you have new projects being deployed, changing some processes, the way that we've been doing the work for many years or many months. You are asked to bring maybe a better attitude to work. You're asked to change mindsets and belief. You're asked to integrate AI as a part of your day-to-day. And you just don't know where to start. You're feeling overwhelmed. You're feeling that this is very chaotic. You're feeling that everything is changing and you're not having control over the situation. Sometimes it will lead individuals feeling that they're bad at change. But I want to tell you, you're not bad at change. You're just feeling a little saturated, a little change fatigue, and a little overwhelmed. And that's absolutely normal when everything around us is changing and we've not developed our internal adaptability system. So you are in luck. My name is Magali, and I'm here to really speak about how to get there. And I think this is a big conversation, of course. And when we look at supporting organizations nowadays, there's different things that we need to put in place in order to succeed the change. Of course, a lot of the organizations that we deal with understand that there needs to be a team dedicated to change management. And that's a fantastic start, implementing a change management practice that will work really closely with the PMO, so the project management office, is definitely something that we are seeing as a trend to do better, to really manage all the change initiatives under one portfolio, one process, and to really learn, do we have the capacity to really deliver all these portfolios, but do we also have on the other end the capacity to absorb all this change? So when we work together, those two teams, it becomes a lot faster and easier to have those discussions and to make sure that we scale our portfolio well in order not to waste money and to throw money into the garbage. So that's one part of the answer. Another part of the answer is really all about change management and having, again, a strong methodology that will help you to know what should I do from start to finish in order to succeed in my project. So I'm not here to discuss the change management methodology here, but if you're looking for one or you're looking to really get better at doing this, I would encourage you to check out the ProSci methodology. It is a very strong one. It's holistic, it's structured. You have a great set of tools there to really help you understand, how do I bring a project to life? How do I communicate to the people who are on the receiving end of those transformation, and how can I get them ready by training them with the right set of skills or competencies that they need to learn in order to move from point A to point B. So that's the second thing. But the third thing that I'd really love to talk about today is how we need to help people become more adaptable. Because even though you have portfolio management, even though you have a change management practice really supporting the people, if the people cannot adopt new ways, cannot find fun in changing, cannot really get there and absorb all this change, an organization will never be able to change either. And so I do believe that right now there is a necessity that we train everyone. And so that's why I'm here. I really want to help you, if you're working in an organization context, to develop your superpower to become more adaptable. And where does this start is with presence. And so there will be another video that you can listen in order to know, how do I deliver, how do I increase my quality of presence? How do I develop that? And there's 2 challenges for you in there. So I encourage you to follow the link, which is going to be in the description box below, to onboard this challenge. And so that is going to help you to really develop your presence. But something else that I'd love to talk about is how we often judge some of those projects that come to us as an individual and kind of put some of those initiatives in the good or in the bad bucket. And I do think that when we do this, when we see a change initiatives and we are informed that we're about to move to a new office and the new office is closer to home, we might be tempted to say, ooh, this is a good change. I like this one. This is gonna go into the good bucket. And when we hear of a new tool or when we hear of AI and we've not learned those tools or we've not used AI just yet, we might be tempted to say, this is gonna go into the bad bucket. I don't know what it means. I'm very fearful of the impact it can have. I don't know anything about those tools. And so therefore, bad bucket, I'm not gonna watch this. I'm gonna do like if it didn't exist. But what happened in life is what we resist persists. And so putting things in the good and or in the bad bucket, mostly in the bad bucket, of course, is going to drain some of your energy. It's going to have you resist those initiatives, those changes, and that's going to be a huge energy leak. And of course, my goal is that you keep all your energy to enjoy your life to the fullest. And so I don't want you to be drained by those ongoing changes that are happening in the organization. And so the first step, of course, in order not to be drained, is to put any change in the good or in the bad bucket. Any change can be seen as an opportunity to learn. Any change is going to allow you the practice to self-regulate, to observe, to be curious about how you react, and to eventually move away from reacting to a change to acting from intention. And how do we do this? Well, first and foremost, we should not judge any change that comes our way. A change is just what life wants you to experience at the moment. And so if ever your car broke down or you had a fight with your lovely other half, well, I would say this is just the experience you were meant to live in the moment. And that has taught you something, I am sure. Even though this might bring a lot of emotions, this might bring like kind of anger or anything, these are all opportunities for us to welcome whatever it is that comes to us, to get an opportunity to practice breathing, to realize that we're still alive. This is not big, even though it might be a big thing coming to us, we are still alive. And to have problems is a cause of being human and being alive. And if you didn't have problem, you would probably be dead. And so welcome anything, whether it is a challenge, a new experience, something that brings you out of your comfort zone, a new change, a new project. Welcome it with peace of mind and do not judge it. This is an ongoing practice, of course. I'm not saying I'm doing 100% on this, but of course, we teach what we have to learn the most. And I'm very passionate about helping people to adapt to all these changes, which are only going to be faster and probably bigger in the future. So how about we start developing it now by not judging any experience that comes our way. And so on that note, I wish you a fantastic day. Thanks for being here. You can drop in the comments how you have reacted to your past change. We'd love to learn, but this will be a first awareness moment to actually kind of evaluate yourself about how well are you doing right now. And if you want to dig a little bit deeper and assess yourself, there will be the link to the journal that you can pick up and really go through this little assessment to know where you're starting from, what's your level of adaptability. And of course, as you want to develop it, we are going to develop your adaptability system one step at a time. So it doesn't mean you need to do any big shift in your life, But it could be that you need to take a micro decision differently. It might mean that it may mean that you need to develop your presence a little bit more. And so there also will be a link to an ebook where you have 7 micro moments that can really help you shift your reality one step at a time. So if you're curious on how to do this, have a look in the comments and or have a listen to the challenge about developing your own presence. I wish you well on this journey. I look forward to talking to you some more soon. Have a fantastic day.